Imagine you're writing your life story. You decide how it ends. Are you on track to be that person you imagine you would be? If you're anything like how I was, then probably not. Whether you're aspiring to be a software developer, doctor, teacher, millionaire, whatever it is, the only obstacle that you have to get through is yourself. I've used the principles in this video to become a software developer in just 6 months, and hope you can get your life steered in the direction you want it to go as well. So let's get started. It was like turning on a switch in my head, like it's go time and nothing could stop me but myself. Because honestly, I bet a lot of you guys were exactly like me. In high school, I wasn't the smartest person, wasn't the most athletic person, or the most extroverted person. So I just lived kind of passively. Just got whatever I could get and didn't aspire to be any better. After high school is when I really felt like I really started to slowly find out what my potential was. I initially had gone to university for life sciences, which is usually a path people take for pre-med. God knows I wasn't even planning or even thinking about becoming a doctor. I simply just got what I could get. After my first year, I was exposed to a lot of engineering because most of my friends were in that program. And something in me told me that I had to switch, because I was absolutely killing my first semester in life science for some reason, and I was able to transfer to engineering in my second semester. This was my first taste of success because it felt like for the first time, I willed my way into what I wanted. It wasn't just some accident. This was my first introduction to the self-development mindset called growth mindset. This is an actual psychological theory by Carol Dweck that states that we can grow our brain's capacity to learn and to solve problems. In a growth mindset, people believe that their most basic abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. Brains and talent are just a starting point. So basically what it's saying is that even an untalented person can achieve whatever they want as long as they work hard and consistently. In this theory, they talk about the two extremes of the spectrum. On one side, you have a growth mindset, and on the other side, you have a fixed mindset, which are people who believe that talent are basically given to you at birth. So these are the people that avoid challenges, give up easily, and ignore constructive criticism. You don't want to be that person. You want to be the person that believes in themselves, that they can achieve whatever they want. After I graduated from mechanical engineering, I worked a few years in the construction industry in project management. If any of you have worked in construction, you know how stressful and draining it can be, and the hours you work don't really make the pay worth it. So that's when I decided to make a change. That's when I decided that I was going to become a software developer. But at this point in my life, I wasn't in any hurry to get a job because I already had a fairly stable one. Although I didn't like it, I had time to learn. After work ended, I would spend at least 2 hours every day on learning web development. The key was going at this one day at a time. And on the weekends, I'd go as long as possible, doing a 10-hour day if I had to. In my head, I thought as long as I did something every day, I'd be able to improve and really retain the information rather than taking breaks and going hard one day and chilling the rest of the other days. This leads me into the law of compound interest. You've probably heard of the term compound interest, mostly used in finance and investing. Let's start with the financial term and build on it through self-improvement. So say you started with $0 and had an investment that gave you around 10% yearly interest. If you invested just $500 every month for the next 30 years, you would actually be a millionaire. I know that was some serious quick maths, but you gotta trust me on this one. What if we applied that same principle to skills and things we want out of our lives? That's basically how I was able to become a developer. Through small, consistent effort of improving my skills every day led to the outcome I wanted. Day to day, you may not notice anything, but eventually you'll wake up one day and you'll have everything you've wanted. Persistence is key in this game, which is also how I'm playing this YouTube game. I've been uploading as consistently as I can to hopefully be able to reach as many people as possible. If you want to help me in this part of my journey, leave a comment and hit that subscribe button. Now let's imagine a tech company that's bringing in some serious cash a month. Let's say 100K a month. In this company, there are 100 people that are responsible for those monthly sales. One day, the director goes down his list of people who need to be fired so that they can save some money on the bottom line. Much to the director's disbelief, he realizes that 80,000 of the 100,000 in monthly sales were directly generated by only top 20 people of this whole sales team. That means the other 80 people only generated around $20,000. Needless to say, his firing decision got a whole lot easier. This principle is known as the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule. It suggests that in whatever field or topic you look at, around 80% of the positive effects come from 20% of the cause. This can be really broken down into any industry. For business, 80% of a company's profits may come from 20% of its customers. For productivity, 80% of the results may come from 20% of the effort. In terms of health and fitness, 80% of the health benefits come from 20% of your workouts or healthy eating habits. So this is how I took my learning approach when it came to coding as well. I learned the highest level stuff like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and chose a very common framework like React and focused on the fundamentals, which made my studying both more effective and easier but still yielded the results I wanted. So last year I took a trip out to San Francisco. If you guys have watched my videos before, you know that trip alone was the sole reason that I got inspired to be a software developer. But that's not the only thing I got out of this trip. If you've ever been to San Francisco, you know how brutal the hills are there, and you have to constantly be walking everywhere. Literally, some of these hills would feel like it's basically like 90 degrees, and you would casually see a house smack dab in the middle of it. All these hills made the trip complete misery for me because my overall fitness level wasn't at the level I wanted to be. So I was really holding the crew back. We even did the bike ride to the Golden Gate Bridge. There's like a shop there that allows you to rent bikes and do like a nice little tour of the city with checkpoints all around. And halfway through that trip, I said, fuck it. My legs were screaming and my heart was beating out of my chest. So I packed up my bike, slapped it onto a bus, and drove back to the rental place and waited for my friends there. This was a pretty big turning point for my life in terms of overall fitness. Cardio and an overall healthy heart has always been trouble for me, which I realized more once I got hit with a bad cold in 2020 that made me end up in the hospital. So after that trip, I decided to make sure I have a strict cardio plan that I followed. I was already pretty good at going to the gym in terms of lifting weights. I always thought that was fun, but cardio has always been the plague of my existence. But what I did was buy a used treadmill and slapped it in the basement where I spent 90% of the time. And now every morning before I do anything, I make sure I go for a run, trying to improve my pace every day. I started off by not even being able to run 2 minutes without catching a break, to now running almost 45 minutes at an even higher pace than I did before. I feel better, I feel more focused at work, and I just feel like I can take on the world. This leads me into the next concept called the butterfly effect. This concept in chaos theory suggests that small changes can lead to dramatic outcomes. It's named after the idea that flapping of a butterfly's wings might ultimately cause tornadoes in another part of the world. It originated in the context of weather predictions, but the idea has been applied to things like physics, engineering, and especially personal life decisions. In my case, the effect of just buying a treadmill and committing to a routine that I knew I could stick to caused a ripple effect that resulted in significant personal transformation. Not only did I see the overall health benefits, but this decision also allowed me to have better focus and clarity through my day, which can also then lead to more commitment to things I want to do, like furthering my programming skills and bringing you guys better content. See how just one decision can make a rippling effect on your life? Try to think of one small thing you can do today and try to extrapolate and see how you think this one decision can ultimately lead you to the lifestyle you want. Okay, let me take a quick guess. You probably have your phone either in your hand or probably a few centimeters away from you. If you watched to this point, then you probably at some point reached for your phone to look at a notification or scroll through TikTok for some odd reason. And when you woke up this morning, the first thing you did was reach for your phone to scroll through Instagram and TikTok, and the last thing you're gonna do today before you go to sleep is scroll through your phone. If I was bang on, then this next part is for you. I realized how completely addicted I was to social media. I wasn't even the type of person to post things. I was just consuming my life away. It was made more clear to me when I tried to learn how to code. Every 5 seconds, I would try reaching for my phone and be completely bewildered at my own action. Like, what was so addicting about this phone? There was literally nothing on there that I found interesting, but I would spend hours on it. So that's when I really had to ask myself, what did I want more? Just the constant cheap dopamine hits that would literally go nowhere, or learn the new skill that will actually have an impact on my life? So I decided to take the route that would be better for my life. I deleted Instagram and TikTok, which were the big hitters in my life, and honestly never looked back, and probably will never reinstall those apps again. I applied the same 80-20 rule here. I never got rid of Twitter or YouTube since those weren't the cause of my addiction. It was really TikTok and Instagram that were taking up my screen time. And after that, my addiction to my phone went down while my focus and concentration on what really mattered went up. Not only that, since I reduced all the cheap dopamine hits, I began to really enjoy the simpler things in life, like going to the gym, chilling with my family, and just overall being more motivated to get shit done. It's a form of dopamine detox that I think everyone should at least try for a week and see how they feel. The more cheap dopamine that you get rid of in your life, the better your overall life will be. Things like drinking alcohol, eating junk food, social media, video games, or just binge watching TV shows. Just try getting rid of one of these things and see how you take control of your life back. After all this, I was finally able to get that dream job I wanted. It checked all the boxes I wanted. Chill coworkers, working from home, good salary, and most of all, it was a job that I decided I wanted. It didn't just fall out of the sky. It was a job that I promised myself I would get in order to prove that I had the ability to get whatever I wanted. But that's not where this journey ends. My next goal is to help more people get what they want out of their life through this YouTube channel, and I'll be making that my sole mission for the next while. And hopefully soon I'll be making another video on how I willed my way into changing my life for the second time. Alright guys, I hope that was helpful, and hit that subscribe button if you want more of this type of content, or if you want how to really get into the software industry, because I have a lot of videos of those as well. So yeah, just stay tuned and I'll see you next time.